Ever hear a message or see a video that seems to hit a little too close to home? You know, those moments when a clear idea or thoughts seems to come from nowhere and speaks to your soul. You wonder if it's just a coincidence or truly a message from God, or even more suspiciously, someone has bugged your home. Well, let me share a little tale with you. It's about a fortune cookie that decided to flip the script on an ordinary dinner. So there I was, sitting at my favorite spot, the sweet aroma of Kung Pao chicken still lingering in the air. I reached for the fortune cookie, its crinkly plastic wrapper whispering promises of profound revelations. I cracked it open, and out slipped a piece of paper that read, "Change is coming." Now, I'm sure you're thinking, that's not so unusual. And you're right, it's a standard fortune cookie message, but you see, at that moment it felt like someone or something had decided to play a cosmic joke on me. Why, you ask? Well, because I was at a crossroads in my life, wrestling with the idea of change. The prospect of transformation was as daunting as it was necessary. So there it was, a simple message from a humble fortune cookie, echoing the very thoughts spinning around in my mind. It was humorous, unsettling, and eerily fitting all at once. But here's the kicker. That unexpected message, as cliché as it may have been, stirred something within me. It nudged me to confront the inevitable, to embrace the change that was coming. It was a wake-up call. A gentle reminder that change, while challenging, can also be a catalyst for growth, a stepping stone to a better tomorrow. So I took the plunge, and guess what? It wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. In fact, it was liberating. It was like shedding an old skin and stepping into a new one, a better one. It was a journey of self-discovery, a testament to the power of resilience and the human spirit. Turns out the cookie was onto something, change was coming, and it was a lot sweeter than that stale cookie. Scene script. Ever lose your keys in the fridge? No, just me. Well, there I was one day, juggling a million tasks at once. I was cooking, cleaning, answering emails, you name it. I was a one-man circus act, and in the middle of all this chaos, my car keys decided to play hide and seek. Now, I know what you're thinking. Keys don't just get up and walk away, right? And you'd be correct. But in my multitasking madness, I had somehow managed to misplace them. And not just anywhere. Oh no, these keys had found their way into the most unexpected of places. The fridge. Let's take a moment to appreciate the absurdity of this situation. Picture this. I'm rummaging through my pockets, flipping cushions, retracing my steps, all while the answer to my frantic search is chilling next to a bottle of orange juice and a half-eaten sandwich. But you see, this comical tale of fridge-bound car keys isn't just a testament to my scatterbrained tendencies. It's a metaphor for life, and more specifically for those who might be feeling overwhelmed. Just like my keys, sometimes in the hustle and bustle of life, we lose track of important things. We get so caught up in the whirlwind of our own chaos that we end up misplacing the very things we need most. And it's not until we pause, take a breath, and start to declutter the chaos that we're able to find what we've lost. For some, it might be a sense of self. For others, it could be a purpose or a direction. And just like my elusive keys, sometimes these things end up in the most unexpected of places, but no matter where they've ended up or how they got there, it's never too late to find them again. So if you're feeling like you've lost something amongst the chaos, remember my misplaced keys. Know that it's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to lose track sometimes. But also remember that it's possible to regain control, to find what's been lost. And let me tell you, discovering your keys next to the ketchup bottle, it's a wake-up call. It's time to slow down and reevaluate. Ever been out for a leisurely stroll and somehow found yourself in the middle of an unscheduled marathon? Sounds ludicrous, doesn't it? Yet let me weave you a tale that's just as bewildering. Imagine this. A piercingly bright, sunny morning, the birds are singing their morning serenades, the air is heavy with the stimulating scent of fresh dew. You slip on your old, trusty sneakers, planning to take a casual, invigorating jog around the block. Nothing too taxing, just a light exercise to get the blood pumping. But as you begin, one foot after another, you're absorbed in the rhythm of your breath and the muffled echoes of your shoes hitting the pavement. You choose to extend your path a little, one more block won't hurt. Then another, and yet another. Suddenly, you're ensnared in a haze of endless blocks and stretching roads. The distance and time blur into one, and you're running, not just jogging anymore, you're racing the wind. Picture the shock when you finally halt, look around and find yourself in an unfamiliar place, miles from home. It dawns on you that you've unknowingly run a marathon. You're spent, your clothes soaked in sweat, but there's also a peculiar thrill in the air. You had never intended to run a marathon, yet you did. One baffling step at a time, one puzzling block at a time, you achieve something you didn't even aim for. Now, why am I sharing this perplexing story? Because, my friends, this unintentional marathon is a symbol for the path of recovery. It might appear intimidating at the onset, similar to the idea of running a marathon, but remember, it doesn't need to happen all at once. Starts with that one mystifying step, that one unfamiliar block. Then you take another step into the unknown, and yet another. Recovery isn't a quick dash, it's a marathon. It's a process, a journey that's riddled with confusing twists and turns, victories and failures. It demands patience, resilience, and above all, faith in oneself. Just as you persevered one foot in front of the other, lost in our little story, you too can navigate your way towards recovery. So, even if you embark on a jog and find yourself lost in a marathon, remember, it all began with one bewildering step. Ever go for a trim and end up with a mohawk? Let me take you back to that fateful day when I walked into my regular barbershop, expecting nothing more than a trim. I sat down in the familiar chair, the smell of aftershave and hair products filling the air. As usual, I asked for the usual, but little did I know, the usual was about to become very unusual indeed. You see, my regular barber Bob had taken the day off. In his place was his nephew Eddie. Now, Eddie was fresh out of barber school and eager to make his mark. So when he heard me say the usual, he thought I meant the latest trend, which just so happened to be a mohawk. Before I knew it, the clippers were humming and my hair was falling like autumn leaves. I closed my eyes, trusting in the process, only to open them and find a reflection that looked like a punk rocker from the 80s. There I was, staring at my new mohawk in the mirror. At first I was shocked, then frustrated, but then I started to see the humor in the situation. I mean, it's only hair, right? It'll grow back. But more than that, I started to see this unexpected mohawk as a symbol of change, of new beginnings. Sometimes life takes unexpected turns. We walk into situations thinking we know what to expect, only to be blindsided by the unexpected, but it's these unexpected turns that give us the chance to grow, to learn, to start anew, just like my mohawk. Recovery is a lot like that unexpected mohawk. It's a journey filled with unexpected turns, challenges, and changes, but each step, each change is a chance to start fresh, to redefine who we are and what we want to be. It's a chance to laugh at the unexpected and embrace the new. Just like my unexpected mohawk, life throws curveballs, but hey, it's a new look, a new start. So, what do fortune cookies, lost keys, accidental marathons, and unexpected haircuts all have in common? You might be wondering why we've traipsed through these seemingly unrelated anecdotes, but if you look closely, you'll find a common thread weaving through each of them, and that thread is change. Each of these stories, in their own unique ways, illustrates the power and the possibility of change. Let's start with the unfortunate fortune cookie. Who would have thought that a simple slip of paper tucked inside a cookie could alter the course of one's life? But that's exactly what happened. It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest things can spark the biggest changes. Then we have the tale of the misplaced keys. This story shows us that even when we feel lost, even when we're frantically searching for something we've misplaced, there's always a way to find what we're looking for. It's about taking that first step, no matter how uncertain or scary it may seem. Next is the accidental marathon. Now, that's a testament to the power of perseverance, isn't it? It shows us that we're often capable of far more than we think. We just have to believe in ourselves and keep pushing forward, one step at a time. And finally, the unexpected haircut. A story that beautifully illustrates how embracing change can lead to surprising and often wonderful outcomes. It's a reminder to not fear the scissors of life, but rather to embrace them and see where they can lead us. So what's the takeaway from these stories? It's this: change is not only possible, it's inevitable. And recovery, while it may seem like a daunting mountain to climb, is definitely achievable. All it takes is one small step, a leap of faith, and a belief in oneself. They remind us that change is possible, recovery is achievable, and life, well, it's as unpredictable as a fortune cookie.